Welcome to the news on Zodiak. You're with me, Chancellor Zabanda. The headlines. 2.4 billion kwacha set aside for disaster response this rainy season. SCB Director General Renek Matemba appointed new Solicitor General. FIA and ICAM signed pact to facilitate information flow in investigation financial crimes. And in sports, soccer analyst expresses fear that football could be suspended again due to COVID-19 second wave. We now give you the news in detail. The Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, says government has set aside 2.4 billion kwacha for the implementation of a national disaster contingency plan this rainy season. Commissioner for Disaster Management Affairs, James Chusiwa, said during a media briefing in Lilongwe, Treasury has already released 500 million kwacha, which will also be spent in case of flood disasters triggered by Cyclone Charlene. DODMA, the Department of Meteorological Services, and the Malawi Red Cross Society organized the briefing to update the nation on the state of preparedness for possible disasters due to Cyclone Charlene. More in this report.
The Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services says the country will experience heavy rains which are going to trigger floods due to Tropical Cyclone Charlene. Director of Meteorological Services, Jola Mkhokwe, said during a media briefing in Lilongwe, Charlene has landed in Mozambique on Wednesday and will have an impact to the country.
When we say tropical cyclone, it means it's a source of a lot of rains. As I said, it's comprised of thunderstorms. A thunderstorm on its own produces a lot of heavy rains. But this is a pack of thunderstorms packed together. You are talking about thousands or millions of thunderstorms together, forming a tropical cyclone. And as it's moving, you find that closer by it will be giving direct rains. But at the same time, it will now be influencing systems that bring rains in the country.
Commissioner for Disaster Management Affairs, James Chusiwa, said the department has structures on the ground preparing for possible disasters. He said DODMA's contingency plan for possible disasters this rainy season has a budget of 2.4 billion kwacha, which has already been approved by government. According to Chusiwa, 500 million kwacha has already been released for the operations.
When we deplete or when we are about to deplete the amount that we have been given, we submit a report on how we use that money and request for additional funding. So in terms of resources to enable us undertake response operations, I would say that we are comfortable.
Malawi Red Cross Society also says its search and rescue teams are set to provide support during the period. Meanwhile, the authorities have once again called on people in disaster-prone areas to relocate upland. DODMA has already reached out to 13,000 people with support after they were affected by various natural disasters this rainy season. This is Winston Kaimira for Zodiak in Lilongwe.
And in the Lower Shire, the Malawi Red Cross Society has stepped up efforts to sensitize people living in low-lying areas to move upland amid the impending tropical cyclone Charlene that may cause flooding. The society's coordinator in Chikwawa, Cecilia Banda, says they have been visiting areas of Chikuse, Mazongoza and Chapanda, calling on people to move to safe areas. Christopher Sunday reports.
Malawi Red Cross Society is leaving no stone unturned by making sure that people are aware of Tropical Cyclone Charlene, which is going to cause floods, mainly in low-lying areas in the country. The organization's coordinator in Chikwawa, Cecilia Banda, says are using early warning teams, community radio stations, and public address systems to sensitize villagers. Banda specifically called on people living on Chikuse, Mazongoza, and Champanda Islands to move upland to protect lives and property. Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services Director Jola Mkhokwe says people should take precaution measures as the heavy rains are expected to start on Wednesday, 30 December.
People should take precaution measures to avoid crossing flooding rivers. People should engage with children to avoid them to be going out when it's raining. And particularly young ones, they like playing. Tell them not to be playing close to water bodies or rivers. It's better to stay indoors during this period when you will be experiencing heavy rains, particularly starting from 30th of December. And some places actually, they will start receiving those heavy rains 29th of December.
She then called on people to avoid crossing flooded rivers and making sure that the children are safe. Chikwawa and Nsanje are always exposed to disasters, especially floods.
Reporting for Zodiak from Chikwawa, this is Christopher Sande.
ACB Director General Renek Matemba has been appointed new Solicitor General and Secretary for the Ministry of Justice. Matemba has confirmed the development to us. Meanwhile, government spokesperson Gospel Gazako says Matemba's replacement at ACB will be made as soon as relevant procedures are finalized. Alinafe Mlamba has filed this report.
The former ACB Director General Renek Matemba, whose contract ended early this month, was assigned to the post with immediate effect on Wednesday. President Chakwera made the appointment, and Matemba's return to the ministry will be on secondment basis. Matemba has confirmed receiving the letter of appointment but could not divulge more.
That is true, I can confirm, but for the time being, let me stop there, other than confirming.
With the Director General position at ACB vacant, government spokesperson Gospel Kazako says an announcement on who fills the position will be made as soon as procedures finalized.
We'll be making an announcement. Immediately a decision is made to have a new Director General at the Anti-Corruption Bureau. But certainly it won't take time because, as you are aware, our priority is to fight corruption to the core. And certainly we would not keep that office in a vacuum for a long time. So, yeah, a quick decision will be made.
Human rights bodies have recently been asking government to speed up the recruitment process of the new Director General for the ACB, emphasizing that the task should be given to a non-partisan professional.
Government has secured crop insurance to assist farmers pick up from their damaged crops in the event the country is hit by natural disasters. Minister of Agriculture Robin Lowe told journalists in Lilongwe Wednesday that they have signed an agreement with African Risk Capacity, which will be providing relief packages to affected farmers during disasters. John Pokayon reports.
When the Affordable Input Program AIP was being launched, different stakeholders called on government to introduce crop insurance to cushion farmers from effects of natural disasters such as floods and droughts. Now, government says it has signed a contract with an insurance company called African Risk Capacity, ARC, to complement the AIP. Minister of Agriculture Robin Lowe told journalists in Lilongwe on Wednesday that ARC will be providing relief packages to affected farmers during disasters.
We had more than 2 insurance companies which we engaged, but out of all those 2, we have actually signed a deal with one. So as a ministry, we are very safe because we have an insurance company with us. So issues to do with drought and floods, they will be covered.
Lowe also said they have started tracking all AIP beneficiaries to ensure only deserving individuals benefit from the initiative. This follows reports that some unscrupulous people have been using other people's names to buy the farm inputs.
We have a coordinating team on the ground. He's trying to manage all my practices. We know vendors took advantage of farmers' ignorance, and they connived with the farmers and the suppliers for them to benefit more than the farmers. So we are looking at all those issues. At the end of the day, you agree with me, it will be the farmer benefiting.
The minister said the AIP for this year will be closed in the next 3 weeks. Meanwhile, according to the minister, 73% of the AIP beneficiaries have accessed the farm inputs. For Zodiak in Lilongwe, this is John Paul Kayuni.
Former Reserve Bank Governor Dr. Dalit Sogabambe has confirmed that at the time he was replaced, his salary was around 24 million kwacha in a month, justifying it as being the set salary for that position in the central bank as per existing conditions of service. Kabambe has since welcomed a forensic audit underway at the central bank, which is aimed at investigating how systems worked when he was at the helm of the institution. Meanwhile, Kabambe confirmed he has been approached by some DPP top brass to consider running for party presidency at the next convention. We have this report.
The former governor has spoken for the first time since leaving the central bank, where he served for 3.5 years. In the interview, Dr. Kabambe, a career public servant, presents his conditions of service at the time he was governor. The documents show a minimum annual salary of 146 kwacha to a maximum of about 360 million kwacha. He says these conditions of service have not been changed. Dr. Kabambe argues that salaries and benefits at the central bank compete with those in commercial banks, not the civil service, with the aim of ensuring independence, and that the bank makes profits to be able to run the economy.
The advantage with the central bank, it says it is an independent institution. It is independent, and it does not get directions from any authority in the country, be it from the president, the first president, the minister. It does not get authority from anybody. In fact, anyone who influences the decisions of the RBM board is liable, I think, to 25 years imprisonment, and is it as 25 million kwacha pay, if anyone interferes with the decisions of the board.
Meanwhile, Dr. Kabambe confirmed he has been approached by some DBB top brass to consider running for party presidency at the next convention. He says he's considering that.
I'm hearing all sorts of things. The others are saying, why can't you join us? So I'm listening as people are discussing.
We understand the DBB is inviting you to join them. Are you a member of the DBB?
I'm hearing that.
Are you a member?
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that they would wish that I join the party membership. So it's something that I'm looking at and considering.
Right. Would you pick it up?
Why not wait for that particular time? Now it's a question of dealing with the issues of salaries, which are on the social media.
Our sources in the DBB have confided in us Kabambe is preferred candidate for party president Peter Mutharika.
And renowned economic expert Professor Ben Kalu of Chancellor College and Polytechnic-based economist Dr. Bechani Cheleni have since described the monthly pecs that the country's Reserve Bank governor pockets as unjustified considering the country's economy. In separate interviews with Zodiak today, the two experts said this marks lack of responsibility on the part of government, cautioning the revelation will send wrong signals to the civil service. We have this report by Alex Banda.
Of late, the public domain has been flooded with discontentment over reports that the governor for the country's financial regulator, Reserve Bank of Malawi, RBM, pockets about 24 million kwacha each month and other benefits. This has been compounded by the confirmation by the immediate past Reserve Bank governor, Dr. Daliso Kabambe, who acknowledged to have been pocketing that much amount in an exclusive interview with Zodiak. Chancellor College Professor of Economics Ben Kalua thinks 24 million kwacha as a monthly pay to the Reserve Bank governor is absurd, given the country's ailing economy.
It sends the wrong signal to I would not blame him as such, but I would blame the system that resulted in this kind of absurdity. There are a lot of implications. One is not justifiable. Two, it sends the wrong signal to everybody else.
Dr. Bechani Cheleni, a Malawi Polytechnic-based economic expert, thinks this is actually insane, as it does not make any economic sense.
Economy where inequality levels are quite high, it's concerning, knowing that the Reserve Bank of Malawi is supposed to be a government entity, and therefore the salaries, they may not necessarily have to be significantly different from the rest of the public sector.
Cheleni added that this has to be reversed, suggesting the disparity between the country's wage bill and the rich and the poor gap in Malawi is just too big. Professor Kalua of Chancellor College, on the other hand, thinks this revelation sends a wrong signal to people in the civil service who will equally be demanding higher perks. The two, in separate interviews, suggest an investigation need to be conducted on how the 24 million kwacha pay was arrived at. For Zodiac, this is Alex Banda.
A legal expert, Professor H. Kanyongolo, says Malawians expect bodies investigating an assault allegation in which Supreme Court Judge Hili Potani is implicated to be professional. He said it is proper for bodies such as Judicial Service Commission, Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, and the Office of the Ombudsman to be ready to help out in case of failed justice delivery. Judge Justice Potani allegedly assaulted his security officer while on duty at the judge's house in Blantyre for unknown reason. Hastings Jumano reports.
The police officer, Sergeant Emmanuel Sinda, who is alleged to have been assaulted by Justice Hirepotan on Monday, has confirmed about the incident but refused to say more, referring us to Southern Region Police Headquarters. National Police spokesperson James Kadazera said the matter is under investigation. While some quarters feel investigations might be compromised, looking at the caliber of the suspect, a legal expert, Professor H. Kanyongol, believes the country has better systems to facilitate the flow of justice in the matter.
There is nothing that indicates that there could be obstacles to a smooth investigation. But in case there are any obstructions, we have a number of oversight institutions that could step in and intervene. For example, we have the Judicial Service Commission, the Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, we have the Ombudsman, and many others. So unless something crops up, I think there's no reason to worry about the smoothness of the investigation.
There are reports that already the processes are underway to have the matter resolved in a fair manner for both parties. For Zodiac, this is Hastings Jimani reporting.
You are watching the news on Zodiac. I've got more news shortly.
Precious things have a secret formula. While John is busy trying to impress, James discovered Tangu's secret. Tangu uses Purity sanitary products from Purity body wash, Purity hands wash, Purity body lotion to Purity dishwash. After a week of using Purity sanitary products, James won the heart of Tangu. Use Purity sanitary products.
Are you looking for accommodation in Blantyre? Cedar Place offers you luxury service department accommodation, complete with all your modern amenities, with additional travel and culinary service for your convenience. Whether you choose to stay at night or months, Cedar Place has all the comforts of a home, whilst indulging you in the luxury service you can expect from a world-class boutique hotel. Set against the backdrop of Michiru Mountain and only 2 minutes away from Blantyre CBD, Cedar Place is truly a welcome center of serenity. Book your stay today by calling the numbers on the screen. Cedar Place, definitive style, complete comfort.
Welcome back. In this edition of the news, you're with me, Chansimlo Zavanda. Another look at the top stories. 2.4 billion kwacha set aside for disaster response this rainy season. ACB Director General Renek Matemba appointed new Solicitor General. FIA and ICAM signed pact to facilitate information flow in investigating financial crimes. And in sports, soccer analyst expresses fear that football could be suspended again due to COVID-19 second wave. Now, moving on with the news, Financial Intelligence Authority and Institute of Chartered Accountants in Malawi have signed a pact which is expected to facilitate the flow of information on investigating financial crimes. Acting Director General for ICAM, Dr. Francis Chinjoke Gondwe, says the MOU formalizes the working relationship between the two institutions to make Malawi free from financial crimes. FIA and ICAM concede lack of information flow has impacted negatively on progress for investigations, some involving high-profile figures, which in the end was deemed as a deliberate ploy to shield them.
The level of financial crimes now is very high. Not only that, we have seen sophisticated, complicated financial crimes being committed. This MOU between the Financial Intelligence Authority and the Institute of Chartered Accountants in Malawi, ICAM, is very significant in the sense that it will allow the two parties to exchange information that is vital for our purposes. For example, for ICAM, within the institute, we have got structures that are responsible for investigating ethical and disciplinary matters. And therefore, this information will help us to conclude the cases that have been long outstanding. In the year 2020, there were about 6 cases that were outstanding. We managed to conclude 10 of them. The ones that were outstanding largely, they were due to inadequate information. We were not able to obtain information from the accused or from their employers because they were telling us that the cases were in the courts.
Meanwhile, Acting Director General for Financial Intelligence Authority, Vincent Chipeta, says partnering with ICAM officially is a boost to strides being made in the country in fighting financial crimes, particularly money laundering.
In terms of how we are faring, we are assessed by the Eastern and Southern African Money Laundering Group. This is an assessment that is done by our peers. We have other countries come in to conduct this assessment. They come up with a report, and in that report they showed us that in terms of the operational measures, which include the work the FIA does, receiving, requesting and analyzing financial disclosures and disseminating financial intelligence to law enforcement, we did well, as well as our colleagues in law enforcement, the police, the SCB, MRA, and they were able to also demonstrate that they were able to show their efforts being done on the ground, that they are investigating, they are prosecuting, and they are achieving convictions of money laundering. The MOU that we have signed today with ICAM is very important in the fight against money laundering in Malawi, because it brings together two institutions. The FIA's mandate is to receive requests and analyze financial disclosures from financial institutions and disseminate the same to law enforcement agencies. And the ICAM is one of those that are supposed to report to FIA. And in terms of them reporting to us, we have cast our net wider, whereby their membership will report to the FIA any irregular transactions, any suspicious transactions that they encounter during their work. So for us, as the FATF recommendations require us, we have now a wider access to information that in the past we did not have.
Government says it's set to open the country's power grid to the private sector in the year 2021 in a move which aims at overcoming persistent blackouts. Minister of Energy Newton Kambala expects the development to increase power capacity by about 90 megawatts through various IPPs in 2021 alone. Kambala explains.
You are aware that our generation capacity is still very low. It's actually just about 400 megawatts, which is not enough, and the government is doing everything possible to increase the capacity. Next year, we are launching a few power stations, one which has got a capacity of about 60 megawatts. It will be connected to the grid in April next year, which is about 4 months from now. And we also have 18 megawatts from Kula 4, Tedzan 4, which is a hydro plant, and that one is 18.2 megawatts, which also assist in increasing the capacity. And we are also doing another power station through an IPP in Mulanje. It's about 3 megawatts. And there are quite a number of IPPs interested in investing in power generation in Malawi because as a nation, government decided to open up to the private sector through IPPs. And we are also planning to start construction of Paramanga project, which is about 350 megawatts. And it's also a hydro plant. And we are also discussing on how we can resuscitate the Kamwamba coal-fired plant, which is planned at 300 megawatts. Our target is to make sure that by 2030, we should be talking of more than 2,000 megawatts from the current 400 megawatts. We are aware that as we grow the capacity, there will be more investors coming into Malawi, and that will definitely mean the demand will also be growing. And because of that, we are also planning more development of power stations. We are looking at different technologies, including nuclear. And all we need is a proper engagement with the private sector.
Let's now move on to sports. A local football analyst has expressed fear that football could be suspended again if there is a lapse in adherence to the preventive measures of COVID-19, more especially among teams. Former Football Association of Malawi FAM General Secretary George Masina was commenting following an increase in the number of positive cases which reigning champions Nyasa Big Bullets have registered. Masina says the testing of all players, which was conducted ahead of resumption of games, should be enforced again. Some banda with the details.
In a statement issued last night, the Football Association of Malawi hailed Nyasa Big Bullets for their proactiveness in taking their players and officials for COVID-19 testing after the reigning TNM Super League champions registered a high number of cases of the pandemic in their camp. Chiwembe says it is swiftly arranging for the testing of all the people who were in close contact with Nyasa Big Bullets during their most recent fixture, and they include players, officials, referees, and ball retrievers. But renowned football expert George Masina says authorities should be held accountable if government decides to suspend football again because they tolerated a lapse in adherence to the preventive restrictions. The former FAM General Secretary also says clubs should not have waited for FAM and Sulom to enforce the preventive measures such as routine testing, which government recommended ahead of the resumption of the games.
Football is already threatened. Sulom and FAM have to take the blame. If you look at the protocols which were there, we were told that before the resumption of training, all players were supposed to be tested. Before kick-off the Super League, they were supposed to follow suit. And it was agreed that each and every game, before a game, in the morning players will be tested so that they can determine the way they are doing it elsewhere. But FAM neglected all these, and then the teams also are to blame, and bullets have to be recommended. And all teams were supposed to follow suit.
Meanwhile, the increase in the number of cases which Nyasa Big Bullets have registered has thrown into doubt the much-touted Blantyre derby between the reigning champions and their sworn-in crosstown rivals before Wanderers, slated for this Saturday in Blantyre.
That's what we had time for in this edition of the news, but before we go, another look at the headlines. 2.4 billion kwacha set aside for disaster response this rainy season. ACB Director General Renek Matemba appointed new Solicitor General. FIA and ICAM signed pact to facilitate information flow investigating financial crimes. In sports, soccer analyst expresses fear that football could be suspended again due to COVID-19 second wave. My name is Chansemlo Zabanda. Log on to our website, zodiacmalawi.com, for more news, and remember to seek medical help when you start experiencing symptoms of COVID-19. Goodbye.